What a harrowing night it was last night when I heard that we were going to finally get a verdict. Having been burned, so many millions of us felt that the injustice of the first verdict didn't allow myself to assume what I hoped would happen, and then it seemed like a long time, but it did finally happen, and I am very grateful to that jury for finally delivering justice for the millions and millions and millions of this country's good people who felt that we hadn't gotten it the first time. I'm grateful for the families of the victims. And I also feel an empathy for all the people that disagree with the verdict. All the sincere people out there, the African-American people and others, who still feel that O.J. Simpson is not guilty. You're probably out there feeling all the injustice that we all felt with the first verdict, and I feel for you because I know that overwhelmingly this is a sincere, deeply held feeling born out of experience that none of us Caucasians have experienced. So I feel for you. I hope you don't suffer it too much, and I'm sorry because I know that you feel that O.J. Simpson is not guilty. We are still dealing with the black and white reactions to so many things in this country. I never felt that this case was about race. I thought it certainly was about fame and celebrity, but what it did do was bring race to the fore, on the front burner, and we've talked about race a lot on this show, and we'll continue to do that. And that's one of the benefits that we get from this horrible, horrible tragedy. But what a long way we have to go. The other night on a television show, I actually saw a black woman journalist say, as they were going to the break, they were talking about, you know, how they didn't let the Mark Furman stuff come in the second case. And this woman said, a lot of people in the black community feel that Mark Furman did it. Not planted evidence, did it, committed the murders. So if there are people in the black community that think that Mark Furman committed the murders, that, you know, they'll give you some just little inkling of what a distance we have to go in this country to get us all reasonably on the same page. Probably never. But we always have to work at that, work at it, and examine your own feelings toward people of another race and try to bring out the best in yourself when you look at somebody, a black person or a white person. Try to call them, because we can't go on this way. We must reach into ourselves and try to judge people by the quality of their character, not the color of their skin. I think the thing that upsets me most about our judicial system is that it allows these accusations that are thrown around toward people. Van Adderen and Lang come to mind. Liars, perjurers, planted evidence, all of these things without any evidence whatsoever, not even any evidence that Furman did anything inappropriate other than lie about using the N-word. Bad enough, but had nothing to do with the guilt or innocence of O.J. Simpson. I'd like to see the system address that. That you can't get up there and say Heidi Fleiss and ran with this and abortion and all the terrible, horrible things about this one did that and this one did that without any evidence. I'd like to see the system not allow that. Not in an opening argument, not in a closing argument, never, unless you have some evidence that you just trash the victims, trash the police. Let's go after anybody, the police, anybody, if we have evidence, but let's not allow that to continue. We want to look at our justice system. I also have a problem with the search and seizure laws, that there was such a outcry that these officers ultimately went over the wall after trying to contact O.J. Simpson on the phone, after however much time, making various phone calls, that they went over the wall to knock on the door of the man whose small children were at police headquarters because their mother, his ex-wife, had been murdered. that would be in such dispute that you can't, of course you can't illegally enter, you can't illegally search, you can't do that, but to knock on the, you can't even knock on the door. So we have to look at our way. Recently we had Judge Harold Rothwax, a Supreme Court Justice in New York, on, and he's written this wonderful book, Guilty. We really want to look at our system, and we learned that I do believe that the law has swung too much in the opposite. We want to protect innocent people. We don't want to torture people. We don't want to threaten families. We don't want to have random searches. We don't want any of that. But I think we've gone too far where you can just... A story comes to mind about a man who twice skipped the pre-trial hearing and then ran away, and then they finally caught him and they convicted him, and then the conviction was overturned because he didn't get a speedy enough trial. He ran away. He didn't get a speedy enough trial. Or the young girl, a rape victim, 14-year-old. The police broke down a padlocked gate where she was held by the rapist who was not there, and once in the apartment. She points out a closet where guns are concealed. The man's arrested, convicted, overturned because they didn't have a search warrant. They didn't have a right to open the door of the closet. I mean, this kind of nonsense. We have to really look at our system.